it showed up in this vote. Seriously. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game is fast approaching and the player pool is filling up. Caitlin Clark was named captain because she received the most fan votes, a record-setting 2.93 million, almost 2.3 million. But she did not have the highest weighted score among guards, 6.1 assists, but she missed out on the starting spot because she was so low in the fan vote, while she was fourth in the media vote and third in the player vote.
Caitlin Clark is breaking records and leading in points and assists, yet the WNBA players rank her 9th among guards. Could fan love and rookie domination really spark jealousy? Or is there more beneath the surface fueling this divide? Stick around, because this story rewrites everything you thought you knew. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Caitlin Clark turned the WNBA All-Star vote into a spectacle. Fans flooded the polls, giving her record-breaking support and making her the clear favorite in her position. The media wasn't far behind either, recognizing her electric play and star potential.
And it, to me, shows that when it comes to Caitlin Clark, these players are not getting any better. I think they're locked in, they're bound and determined to hate on the Indiana Fever guard. Subtitle right here. Players not high on Caitlin Clark. They can't help it. It's crazy. Now, by the other side of the token, Skylar Diggins was not high for the fans. She's 7th in the league in scoring and 4th in assists at 18.9 points a game.
But then came the players' votes, and suddenly, a glaring drop, ranked 9th among guards. 9th. So how does one of the league's most popular figures fall that low in the eyes of her own peers? It's easy to jump to conclusions, and some have. Jealousy, hate, a rookie stealing too much of the spotlight. But is that really what's going on? Let's start with how All-Star voting works. It's split 3 ways. Fans get a say, the media gets a vote, and players cast their own ballots. It doesn't stop there, though. The league weighs those votes differently. Fan votes count more, but they still only make up half the decision. Media votes are worth a quarter, and the remaining quarter comes from the players. Clark crushed it in the fan and media pools, but the players dragged her score down enough to knock her down the rankings. And numbers tell their own story. Statistically, Clark's rookie season has been solid, but league veterans aren't just looking at stats. The WNBA isn't a league that hands out respect easily. Rookies come in brimming with college accolades, but the pros are faster, tougher, and especially here, more physical. Take Sabrina Ionescu's rookie year. She faced her own struggles adapting to this level. And Clark, for all her highlights, hasn't been perfect. Fans might focus on her incredible passing or crowd-pleasing three-pointers, but players see the turnovers, the shots that miss, and yes, it's been noted, her lower three-point percentage compared to college. Whatever the memes say, the criticism isn't always hate. It can be fuel for competition. But wait, if it's just basketball, why does this us versus her vibe feel so loaded? There's more in play here, and the deeper we go, the more there is to understand.
And I think a lot of it's got to do with how popular she is with the fans and the television ratings and everything. We know that they can't stand her for. That's not even the total issue here. It's how bad this gets otherwise. While she finished first in fan voting and third in media voting, she was 9th. So another week. Once the full player pool has been determined, Clark and Collier will draft their rosters on July 8th. Now, let's look at this next. She was 9th in the fan vote, which accounts for 50% of the total vote. As a result, her weighted score is 6.25, remain ranked 6th among guards.
Could this story really just be about Clark's game, or is it about how we see her? Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player anymore. She's a cultural phenomenon. Her arrival brought massive attention to the WNBA, drawing fans who might never have watched a game before. But that wave of excitement hasn't come without friction. Clark's skyrocketing fame exists at the intersection of sports, race, and how media narratives shape public opinion. And it's why her story feels bigger than just basketball. One major point of tension is how differently Clark is framed compared to other players. A USA Today article raised eyebrows by pointing out how incidents involving Clark often receive outsized attention. They questioned why moments on the court, like routine conflicts or on-the-fly decisions, seem bigger when she's involved. That extra layer of scrutiny hints at something deeper than just her game. Factor in the racial dynamics. Clark, a white rookie, is competing in a league where the player base is predominantly black. This contrast matters in a sport that's historically battled for recognition against other leagues and carries significant cultural weight. The way society has historically framed white women as needing protection adds another dimension. The USA Today piece called out how this has created tension in diverse spaces like the WNBA. It's not about people outright agreeing or disagreeing with those narratives, but about how they subtly shape who gets defended, who gets criticized, and how those reactions ripple through the league. For some players, that framing might feel lopsided or even dismissive of the disrespect the veterans have faced over their own careers. Then, consider how media narratives can spiral into something worse. Look at what happened with Chennedy Carter. After a small hip check to Clark, some fans turned it into a moral war, harassing Carter online. Situations like this show how framing events one way can escalate real damage on both sides. And even Clark's so-called rivalry with Angel Reese has been pulled into these narratives. The truth? Much of the tension exists more among fans drawing racial lines than between the players themselves. Clark isn't just facing basketball challenges. Her rise is forcing the WNBA to navigate fame, tension, and new conversations about identity on a massive stage. Caitlin Clark's story runs deeper than stats or rankings. It's where fame meets competition and culture. Her presence in the WNBA has skyrocketed the league's visibility, with events like her draft night drawing millions of viewers. But that spotlight brings tension too, highlighting how fame reshapes narratives and stirs debate about respect within the league. Next time you see a headline about WNBA hate, stop and ask, what's really influencing this story? Clark's rise isn't just changing the game, it's reshaping its perception. The way we discuss her now won't just define her legacy, it'll shape the WNBA's next generation.